聞け。我こそは我にして我らなり。我が語るは我らの物語。されどここは聞く者なきガラスとコルクに封ぜられし小さな世界。
Hi, Beatrice. Apparently we're going for a new look today, or?
それは誰の目にも触れることなく、我が物語のすべてを封じて、我が心の海をたゆたいて、海の木図と消えてゆく。
Also, apparently we're going for a literal theater show experience as well, from the looks of it. To cry or not to cry? The question is not what, but when. There.
ここはどこなの？
Hey there, Fufu.
そして私は誰なの？
ならば聞こう。
Hey there, Zepar.
どこがいい？誰がいい？
私を優しく包んでくれる場所ならばどこだっていいわ。優しくしてくれるなら自分が誰だっていいわ。
そうさ、僕たちには。
私たちには。
どこで誰かなんて些細なことなのだから。
そう、我らにとってそれはとてもとても些細なこと。少なくともその日を迎えるまでは。なぜに我らは新しき運命に投ぜられねばならぬのか。それは突然にして唐突なる運命の宣告。
それは僕が望んだ運命じゃない。
でも踊らせたわ。自分。
新しい運命は僕をどこへ誘うのか。
どこへだって構わないわ。
そこが僕たちに、私たちにとって優しい場所でさえあるならば。
親を持たぬ悲しき子供たちが集いし、仮の住処にもたらされるよ。神の救いの知らせか、新しき運命にてもてあそぶ悪魔のゲームへのいざないなのか。
The tidings brought to the temporary dwelling where unfortunate children without mother or father gap. Do they herald God's salvation, or does the devil beckon us to be the playthings of a new fate?
我らにはそれを知る由もなし。されど我らは信じたい。それが神の救いが差し伸べられたという福音の知らせであると信じたい。
でもどうしてそれが私に？私には信仰も何もない。
ならこれは福音じゃない、悪魔の誘いさ。
されど我ら運命に逆らえる由もなし。ああ、我は我にして我らなり。願わくば新しき運命が我らを祝福せんことを。時は西暦1976年4月。
April of 1976.
春を語るにはあまりに寒き頃のこと。新しき異境は何ら変わることなく、朽ちた空気と隙間風で我らを苛むのである。第一章、新しき生活。
Act 1. A new life. What is this, like a preview of the next chapter titles? Oh my. Oh. Okay, back to Rokinjima. Before the portrait was put, of
以
course.
上が当家のルールです。
This truly must be 1976. If we're going by what was being shown in the show, like before.
厳しいですが、当家でしつけられたことが皆さんの将来にきっと役立つものと信じています。
1976. That would be 10 years prior to the incident. Okay, well, first thoughts that I have right here is that the person that we saw right over there, I think that I've seen her name is Claire. That could very well be the living cat, maybe? I mean, I did joke about Beatrice changing her hair and clothing and such, but, you know, I look at her, I look at the shape of her face, I look at the, like, I hear the voice, I look at the boobas, and it definitely does tell me Beatrice. That is for sure. That and with Zepat and Furfur there as well, it kind of makes me think of the living cat, which before I was saying that it was Shannon and all that, but maybe this is another way of interpreting the living cat, like Ben Castell created a new, well, not created, maybe once again she placed another piece in similar fashion to Leon that would make us think of the living cat in the form of this Claire person. And you know, this also makes me think of what Will said before, and I may have thought of this before about the Zepat and Furfur and the whole gender thing, but Will also mentioned it plain as day before, like in the last part, about gender questioning slash gender internal conflict and such. Like Leon didn't have any of that. Maybe in similar fashion to how I think of Shannon as having that kind of problem, maybe we're gonna be having the same thing with Claire here. So, who knows? But, okay, this makes me question, like, 1976, is this... Those are all the family rules. Kinda sounds like Natsuhi is preparing like a new servant. Maybe Shannon in the young days?
Hi, Okusama.
Or a couple of servants, by the looks of it. The servants who would start working this April all called out in unison. April. The rules of the Ushirimiya family are no more or less strict than those at the Gospel House. However, here, we get paid a lot of money. They also give us a lot of help in finding our next job. We work for the Ushirimiya family, store up money, use their influence to get a job at a good company, and start a new happy life. That was the dream, and it was a very realistic one, held by all of us at the Gospel House. However, not everyone can become an Ushirimiya family servant. Only kids with a record of exemplary conduct and good grades are recommended. So, all the kids who want to be sure of leaving the Gospel House to live a happy life are feverishly devoted to their studies.
では、これで今日はおしまいです。
You know, this reminds me of some thoughts that I had a long time ago. Because we've heard from Shannon that she served the house since she was 6. That's what she said to us. And yet, we've seen her in like the earlier episodes, like doing like a bunch of rookie mistakes and such. And it kind of makes you think, like, why would they keep Shannon out of all people? Like here, if she's gonna screw up like this. Well, with recent events, it can make you think that Shannon was getting some special treatment. But it kind of makes me think if Kinzo was really aware of Shannon being his daughter and such. Yeah, like, I'm still questioning that, if he was even aware. Cause, yeah, I am still thinking that Kinzo and Kuwadura and Beatrice made a baby, but like in comparison to Leon, maybe Kinzo truly thought that Shannon died at birth like 19 years ago. And they didn't even know that Shannon was was their daughter and such. But, nah, I don't know. Kind of makes me think that, like, with the recent events that we've learned, it kind of makes me think that Kinzo was aware. Otherwise, he would not have kept Shannon all this time.
明日からは早いですよ。消灯時間を守るように。解散。
はい、奥様。ありがとうございます。
After bowing until Natsui was no longer in sight, the new servants all followed the lead of one of the more experienced servants and raised their heads.
じゃあ、今日はこれでおしまいよ。
Hello there. Lucifer in maid outfit. Oh my. Okay, well, I guess so. I did think before that that the servants, some of the other servants that we haven't heard of or seen much of, they could very well be like the stakes. Well, here you have plain as day, like you have Lucifer in the main outfit, I guess.
明日からはシフト通り。奥様は時間に厳しい方よ。
The stakes in maid outfits? Like, how am I gonna be able to survive this?
あんたらが寝坊したら私の責任にされるわ。寝坊したら蹴り起こしてやる。
Yeah, this definitely is Lucifer with this bossy-like attitude here.
いいわね。
Of course, this experienced servant was one of the older girls from the gospel house. Yeah. But actually, is Lucifer like the oldest? Yeah, I think I remember her being the oldest. If not, then Belphegor, I think. She's been here for 2 years, apparently. That's probably why all the other new servants, who are older than me, seem to know her well. They all chatted noisily, saying things like, Madame looks so strict, and dang, I'm tired, or man, I'm hungry.
ところでこの子何者？どうして使用人に選ばれたわけ？
The older servant pointed at me and asked to a room at large, a dubious look on her face. It's no surprise, really. Most of us become servants when we graduate middle school or high school, but I'm just starting elementary school. The others will be working as servants every day, according to their shifts. However, I was going to go to the elementary school in Najima with my lady. Only working on weekends and when I had free time. It was an exception among exceptions, something that had never happened before. It was clear at a glance that the others, who had obtained their positions after a rigorous selection process, didn't like the fact that I was here too.
あんたについては学業最優先でと奥様からも源氏様からも言われてるわ。でもお給金は出るんですってよ。意味わかんない。
If you're going to talk behind someone's back, that is the way behind them. She didn't even try to hide her discontent.
こいつ、そんなに勉強できるの？天才児？全然知んないです。
Leviathan.
なんか病弱とかって隔離されてたらしくて、家でも全然知りませんでしたし。
Satan. Again, if it wasn't enough, now we have Satan, the stake, an anime girl in maid outfit. Only in anime you see this happen.
ここに来た以上、連帯責任なんだからね。あんたがドジれば、福音の家の全員のドジだと思われるのよ。せいぜい気合い入れなさいよね。
I nodded weakly. I'd never been frightened by someone this much older than me, and I was very frightened.
大丈夫よ。
No!
私も一緒だから。
Okay. Either Shannon went through like a huge growth spurt in just a nanosecond, just like that, or the person that they're questioning right now, the kid that they're questioning right now, is not Shannon. It is somebody else, like a completely different servant. Okay. 1980. Wait, actually, hold on a second. If this is 1976, Shannon shouldn't be this developed at this age, right? Okay. In which case, I probably shouldn't look at this with a realistic lens. Apparently, I guess I'm gonna hold my thoughts for a little bit and see how this is gonna go.
二人で頑張ろう。ね。
Shannon smiled at me as she spoke.
シャノンは怖くないのかい？
Oh?
この家はなんだか厳しそう。
全然怖くなんかないよ。あなたが怖いと思うから怖くなってしまうだけ。
じゃあ楽しいと思ったら楽しくなるのかな？
楽しくなるよ。だからここでも笑顔で頑張ろう。
シャノンは福音の家からの唯一の友人だった。彼女はしっかり者で人気者。我とは大違い。我は呆れるくらいにのろまで容量が悪くて、誰も友人になどなってはくれなかった。そんな我が福音の家で頑張ってこれたのは、彼女がいつも励ましてくれたからだ。
Or... Okay, I'm having some new thoughts here. Let's see.
なら、ここでも彼女と一緒に頑張れるだろう。
Maybe the Shannon that we've seen there. I mean, maybe it is 1976. Maybe we are talking a bit about a young Shannon, like child Shannon at that age who just started serving and such. But the Shannon, the much older Shannon that we've seen there, is a sort of a personality of hers, or more like an imaginary friend that she looked up to. That she didn't become Shannon, like that particular Shannon, until much later. But when she was young, she was actually somebody else. Like, think of Shannon talking to Kanon, like in their free time when nobody was looking. Same thing can happen with the young child that just started their service, and the older looking Shannon there. It could very be something like that.
さあ、早く寝支度をして休もう。
If you know what I'm trying to say here, folks.
私は明日からすぐにお仕事だけれど、あなたは別のお仕事があるわ。
そう。私はみんなと違って学校に通わなければならない。ロッケン島で泊まるときは学校の支度をして船着き場でお嬢様をお迎えしなくちゃいけない。
お嬢様、元気そうな人だったね。仲良くなれるといいね。
仲良くなれるかな。私、学校は怖いよ。緊張するよ。
福音の家での生活に慣れていた我にとっては、規則ゆるき学校など気楽なもの。しかし、慣れるまでは全てが新しく、そして不安なのだった。
My new life on Rokinjima probably deserves an explanation. It was completely different from the comfortable yet stagnant life I lived at the Gospel House. In addition to the time I spent as a servant to the Ushimura family on Rokinjima, I also traveled to the elementary school on Nijima on school days. It was the start of a time that was both rushed and busy, with hardly any time to relax. Unlike at the Gospel House, I didn't get to sleep in the same bed every day here. Half of the week, I slept in the servants' quarters in the Rokinjima mansion. I would return from school with my lady, go to the mansion, and work there as a servant. I would then stay the night and head to school with my lady again the next morning. Whoa. On days when I didn't have work, I would return to the dormitory on Nijima, where I could have some time to myself in the room that had been assigned to me. There was an adult dorm mother who strictly controlled mealtimes and lights out. But I was already used to that sort of life from the Gospel House, so it wasn't hard for me. The rooms were slightly larger than average and housed 3 people each. However, either because of the number of people or some lucky chance, I was not given a free person room.
寮でのお部屋も一緒だね。
With Shannon by my side, I felt like I'd be able to manage well enough.
Eh. 福音の家から毎年何人かの使用人が入れ替わりでやってきていました。
あれに関しては親父殿が先方と決めて勝手にやっていたことだからね。私たちには何も口出しできなかったよ。
身寄りのない子供たちを当家が厳しくしつけ、そして社会へ羽ばたいていくのを応援するのが止める後宮家の社会への義務と思っていましたから。
どんな子たちが後宮家へ来ていたのかしら。
きっと貧困法制、真面目で良い子で可愛い子たちさ。
ギラギラとしたハイエナみたいな子が多かった印象です。
上昇志向が強かったと言いたまえ。身寄りのない気の毒な子たちだ。貴重な機会を踏み台に自分の人生を必ず掴み取ってやろうという気概にあふれていたよ。
みんな学校生活と使用人生活を両立してたの？
それは大変だね。ほとんど働きやしない。
学校に通いながら働く子など、あの子以前には前例もありませんでした。
正直最初の挨拶の時に驚いたよ。明らかに幼かった。他の子たちは16歳から18歳くらいなのだが、その子だけはさらに10歳は幼く見えた。
Almost 10 years younger.
福音の家から来る若すぎる使用人はあくまでも社会勉強として当家に訪れているのであって、そもそも使用人としての腕前はあまり期待していません。
そうだな。やはり大人の年季の入った使用人たちに比べるとどうしても頼りないものだ。
それが未就学の子を受け入れるなんて。家事はおろか、社会勉強どころか義務教育もまだではありませんか。お父様にどんなお考えがあったのか存じませんが、明らかにおかしいと思いました。
親父殿には申し上げたさ。せめて中学を出るまでは福音の家で学ばせるべきではないかとね。
そうしたら金蔵はなんて？
決まってるさ。こう答える。
Gatorije! I had a feeling he was gonna say that. I had a feeling.
当時はもうすっかりオカルトかぶれの書斎ごもりさ。余計なことを言えば我が思考の旅の邪魔をするなと怒鳴られる。
お父様のお決めになることは絶対ですから。しかしあの子についてだけは腑に落ちませんでした。
福音の家にも問い合わせたさ。そしたら源氏さんに聞いてくれという。 源氏さんに聞いたら親方様に聞いてくれという。
親方様に聞いたらベアトリーチェという。
真実は誰にもわからないのね。
島に子供はジェシカしかいない。使用人たちはよく娘と遊んでくれたようだが、やはり娘は年の近い友人を望んでいたよ。学校だけでなく家でも遊べる友人をね。
ジェシカを不憫に思い、お父様が気を利かせたに違いないと私も思うには思いました。しかしそれなら私たちにも相談していただきたいとは思いませんか？娘の友人には誰がふさわしいかは私たちが決めるべきです。
おっかな
夏日は公演デビューが苦手そうだ。
源氏の配慮と見るべきだろうな。
でしょうね。
Oh, hey, Leon. Did you... How was your journey through the Umineko episode? You surely must have been a wild ride, am I right?
源氏さんはその世界の私がおじい様の血を引くと知っていて、特別な配慮をしてロッケン島に呼び寄せたのでしょう。
体調はもう大丈夫なのか？
いろいろとショックが大きすぎただけです。もうめまいくらいしか。
この世界では次期当主。しかし世界が違えば使用人、いや魔女だったかもしれない。
Yeah.
お前も難儀な運命だ。
全くです。知ったことを後悔はしませんが、今からでも忘れられるならそれを選びたいです。
面白いじゃない。使用人なのに実は当主の血を引く隠し子なんて、まるで童話のようにロマンティックな話よ。
ロマンティック。母さんの気持ちを考えると複雑です。
そうね。夏日にとってこの世界のリオンは育てろと押し付けられた気に入らない赤ん坊に過ぎない。そしてそれを拒絶した世界でもある。夏日にとっては自分の腹を痛めたジェシカの方が何百倍も可愛いわ。自分の血の入らぬ赤ん坊なんて汚らわしくて生温かい汚物の皮袋と同じよ。
言葉を選べ。俺でもケツをつねるぞ。
ありがとう、ビル。だいたい話は見えます。だからこそ私は母さんに一層感謝しなくてはならない。この年になるまでこんなにも公平に育ててくれたことを。
奇跡的な確率でだけれどね。動物というのはね、自分の血が入らない子供にはいつも残酷なのよ。ライオンとかもそうでしょ。
源氏はおそらくこう考えた。この世界のリオンは正しい血統を持つ後ろ宮家の人間だ。なんとかロッケン島で生活させてやりたかった。しかしいきなり連れてきてこの子がそうですというわけにはいかなかったわけだ。
でしょうね。島で生活させてなじませ、木を見て打ち明けるつもりだったのでしょうか。
しかしこの世界のリオンは特別扱いを受けていたわけではないな。現に銀の指輪は存在しない。
おじい様のお耳には入れなかったということでしょうか。
源氏にとっての打ち明けるべきタイミングが。
You know, this is what I was talking about before. Maybe Kenzo was not even aware of the Shannon slash the person that we are learning about right now. Because apparently now we're going even deeper in the who was first. Because before I was going, okay, it could very well be that Shannon slash Sayo was the first one, but maybe there was a newer or more like older version of personality of the person behind all this, of the person behind Beatrice, that also had the personality of Shannon at that point as well, just to help, uh, our person in question uh, cope with the situation. Because, well, she was new, she was very young, she didn't really have like any friends at that point, so she needed Shannon as a friend to survive the environment and all that, to feel safe. But yeah, it does make me think that in this other timeline, calling it timeline here, Kinzo was not even aware of Shannon, cause otherwise of this other Leon, cause otherwise she still would have gotten like some special treatment.
とうとう訪れなかったということかもしれねえ。
いつの日にか愛しきベアトリーチェの血を引きし忘れがたみが生きていることを源氏は伝えたかったのであろう。
Huh. Okay, so we're going with the idea that Genji knew of this. Well, actually, somebody had to know. Cause let's think about it for a second. The baby fell off the cliff, and the servant more than likely died. Or maybe we're gonna find out that the servant didn't actually die. In which case, maybe they were the ones to tell Genji about it. About the survival of the baby. If not, then maybe Genji just went down there and found out that the baby was actually still alive. And apparently took the baby with them. And they didn't tell Kinzo, like, right away. Huh.
しかしそれを伝えるのは容易なことではなかった。
どうして容易じゃないんだろう。
バカね、夏日が知ったら大変よ。
ああ、そうか。リオンが突然現れたらジェシカが次期当主じゃなくなっちゃう。
Strictly speaking, Jessica wasn't the successor to the headship, but since she'd be able to select the successor, it all came to the same thing.
それは知れば知るほどに容易ならざる物語。我の生まれを祝福する者もいれば祝福せざる者もいる。源氏はそれを明かす日を静かに待つしかないのである。
それは源氏の胸だけに秘められた物語？
I'm gonna say that Kumasawa also knew at that point.
リオンも金蔵も夏日もクラウスもジェシカも誰もみんな知らない物語。
かくしてこの奇妙な物語は1976年よりゆっくりと幕を開けるのである。ああ、我こそは我にして我らなり。
She is one yet many.
なぜに運命は核にも我らを捨ておいて自由気まま身勝手に進むのか。
People only found the young servant strange for the first month. Natsuki and Krause's protest came to naught. After all, there was no harm in it, so why not indulge Kinzo's whim? Eventually, everyone grew accustomed and began to accept this slightly abnormal everyday life.
しかし、いつもそばにいて同じ待遇であるべきと思っている福音の家の使用人たちは違う。
Also, I should probably talk about this detail, because, like, it may not seem as obvious, because I always think of Shannon and Kanon and, you know, as 19-year-olds. But let's not forget that before, like, it was known that Shannon is actually 16, she told us. And she started working since she was 6. Well, if you were to subtract that, it would mean that she worked for 10 years. And current year was 1986, and this young person started at 1976. You subtract that and you get 10 years. So it adds up in that sense. I just wanted to bring that detail up.
彼らは明らかに自分たちとは違う我の扱いに日々の小さな不満を蓄積させていったのだった。
ソーチお疲れ。今日はどうだった？
今日奥様の機嫌最悪。マジで窓枠なぞられた。ただっち、掃除遅いって絞られてた。
Tadachi Sawachi?
マジどうしろと。
The Gospel House treats all the children in its care as family. Because of this, the original names are not spoken there, and everyone uses new blessed names instead. The original names are not spoken there, and everyone uses new blessed names instead. Maybe because the in on non ne character isn't the word gospel, fukuin. The character is almost always combined with at least one character from the child's original name to make their new name. That character is almost always combined with at least one character from the child's original name to make their new name. Still, just giving a person a new name doesn't mean they'll accept it so easily. The boys and girls of the Gospel House, living without relatives due to all kinds of circumstances, often feel as though their real first and last names are a bond that's worth holding on to. So, many of the Gospel children hate their names and call each other by nicknames based on their original names. Of course, this is only privately. When in the presence of the house director or other important people, only the blessed names are used. On the job, the blessed names are used. And off the job, the informal nicknames are used. Oh, I see. So they have 3 names, not just 2. Everyone is very used to living with 2 names like this, so they're all naturals at switching between the 2.
うわ、汗くせ。
I mean, you have the original names, the names given to them by the Gospel House, and then the nicknames that they created themselves.
シャワー浴びてきなよ。
つうか部屋狭いよね。お屋敷広すぎんのに量はケチりすぎ。
ねえ、ガラシさん。
Higurashi.
なんでヤスだけは3人部屋じゃないわけですか？
Yasu. By Yasu, they probably mean me. Oh. Okay. Yasu. I can't remember my parents at all, but I was given the family name Yasuda. And apparently my nickname comes from that.
知らないわよ。部屋の割り振りは源氏様が決めてんだもの。私だって納得いかないわよ。
Okay, so Yasu was also, I guess now we know Shannon's third name. So she's called Shannon. She's called Sayo and also called Yasu.
ですよね。普通22にしますよね。
つうかさ、 ヤスって何者なの？
お嬢様と学校通うのが仕事みたいなもんだし。語学友ってやつ？さっぱりだわ。
Of course, on days when I'm given work, I return to the mansion right after school and work alongside all the others. I help out with caring for the garden and cleaning up the mansion. I cannot do any jobs on my own, so I'm always just helping out. Maybe because I'm young, the adult servants are always kind to me. It seems my fellow gospel house servants are annoyed by this.
熊沢さんって明らかにヤスにだけ甘いよね。というか孫か何かと勘違いしてるよ、あれ絶対。これで同じ給料もらってるとかマジありえないわ。意味わかんない。
あんたに学校あるのは分かってるけど、一応は使用人なんだからね。いつまでもお手伝い感覚じゃなくて、早く一人前になって私たちと同じ仕事しなさいよね。私たちいつまでもあんたにだけ甘くないからね。
This does make me think, because what we're seeing right over here is the origin story of the person behind the Beatrice and such. And well, I mean, we also have the servants, who are also more than likely the origins of the stakes. You know, I did say before about how Shannon may have had some accomplices, even in the most recent example of the ghost story with Jessica in the VIP room, that you need like multiple people in order for that prank to work. And I was thinking that, hey, maybe the servants have helped Shannon in that. And I'm not talking about Genji and Kumasan and such, but the other servants that we haven't seen, which would more than likely be the stakes in that case, because on the magic side you have Beatrice, who is being helped by the stakes. So in a realistic aspect, you have Shannon with the rest of the servants. So it makes you think that eventually they became friends, I would assume. But I always think of them as around the same age. Here we have like a, well, at first glance 6-year-old, but in my eyes you would be 9 years old. Like you have this 9-year-old child with this very old teenager girls that are serving as well. Did they become friends? Even to the point of committing murder together? Yeah. It is interesting to think if that were the case. I guess we shall see. Like how the servants are gonna play in this entire thing. I've been trying my best. However, I'm not very strong yet, so I cannot carry heavy things. I cannot carry a lot of things at once either. I cannot fold clothes right, and I'm not good at using a dustpan. I just cannot do it as well as everyone else. As my face turned red, I spotted Shannon, who was watching from the silence and not joining in. Shannon is my only ally. Unlike me, she can do everything well. However, she'll never pamper me. She'll show me how things are done, but she'll never steal my jobs from me. She really is incredible. Yeah, she knows she knows how to do the jobs, but she will never do things for you because you're the only one who can do that. In more ways than one. I really want to be like Shannon. As soon as I can. She never talks behind people's backs. And no one talks behind her back. She's kind, and she gets along with everyone. I want to be like her. But yeah, as I said before, Shannon could very well be like another personality of hers, slash imaginary friend, slash maybe more importantly, like a role model that she created to become like Shannon. That could very well be it. That could very well be it. Like the original person inhabiting all these personalities, Shannon, Kano, Beatrice. She first created like this person, Sayo or Yasu. She created Shannon as their first personality / role model to strive towards, to become that particular person. Huh. Could very well be the case. Okay then. In which case we can go with I guess we're no longer going with Shannon / Sayo as the original person from where the whole creating personalities process started. It is from Yasu / Sayo, who first created Shannon and afterwards created Beatrice and then Kanon and so on and so on. But what about Claire though? Like I was thinking of Claire with the green hair as possibly this original person, but she is always kindly watching over my efforts to become like her. No, I just been muttering to the ceiling. Shannon gave me an honest answer.
神様のおぼし飯だとしか言えないよね。
Is this another test from God?
うん。あなたを立派な人間に育てるための試練だと思うの。だってあなたは選ばれた特別な人だもの。
Am I special?
特別だよ。だって他はみんな大きい人ばかりなのに、幼い中からあなただけが特別に選ばれた。